Barbie and the Nutcracker released October 2, 2001. The foundational computer-generated manifestation that initiated this multi-decade entertainment empire. Synthesizing Pyotr Tchaikovsky's immortal orchestral compositions with innovative motion capture choreography executed by the New York City Ballet, this production transformed a traditional holiday narrative into a high-fidelity digital milestone. Barbie as Rapunzel released October 1, 2002. A profoundly imaginative reinterpretation of the classic Brothers Grimm mythological paradigm, this iteration emphasizes artistic expression as an instrument for psychological liberation, utilizing a supernatural paintbrush to deconstruct themes of authoritarian isolation. Barbie as Swan Lake released September 30, 2003. A visually breathtaking adaptation of the tragic musical masterpiece, Recontuxelace to accentuate themes of inner fortitude and environmental harmony. This production integrated advanced digital rendering techniques to simulate ethereal woodland environments and fluid alien transformations. Barbie as the Princess and the Pauper released September 28, 2004, widely heralded by contemporary scholars as the absolute creative scene of the Beerley franchise. This dual-role musical extravaganza adapted Mark Twain's identity-switching literature, implementing unforgettable operatic compositions that explored socio-economic disparities and female autonomy with unparalleled narrative sophistication. Barbie, Fairytopia released March 8, 2005. The inaugural entry into a completely original, world-built fantasy landscape. This cinematic composition followed a winkless self-navigating and eco-political conspiracy, permanently shifting the studio's aesthetic toward vibrant, neon-saturated palettes. Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus released September 20, 2005. A soaring, mythologically infused adventure that experimented with primitive stereoxic 3D technology, taking audiences on a high-altitude quest to dissolve a tyrannical sorcerer's lithic curse. Barbie Fairytopia, Mermaid released March 14, 2006, an underwater sociopolitista sequel that forced an interspecies alliance between fairies and merfolk, requiring immense personal sacrifice to preserve the ecological equilibrium of the ocean. The Barbie Diaries released May 9, 2006. A radical, countercultural departure from classical fantasy. Produced utilizing a distinct cel-shaded animation methodology, this contemporary high school narrative delved into adolescent social hierarchies, garage band subcultures, and journalistic integrity. Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses released September 19, 2006. A triumphant return to classical choreography and Mendelssohn's auditory architecture. This sophisticated narrative explores sisterly solidarity as they decode an intricate architectural puzzle to evade an insidious poisoning plot. Barbie Fairytopia, Magic of the Rainbow released March 13, 2007. The spectacular culmination of the original trilogy, introducing complex magical academic curricula and a high-stakes meteorological catastrophe that threatened the macroscopic ecosystem. Barbie as the Island Princess released September 18, 2007. An original, operatic maritime adventure exploring the complexities of feral upbringing, cross-species linguistics, and the sociological shock of royal court integration. Barbie, Mariposa released February 26, 2008. A thematic spin-off of the Fairytopia mythos that focused on an introverted, leopard-hardened cartographer navigating a biochemically induced royal succession crisis. Barbie and the Diamond Castle released September 9, 2008. A profoundly moving celebration of platonic interpersonal camaraderie, this musically driven epic details a perilous trek to liberate the muses of classical melody from an authoritarian, geologically fortified prison. Barbie and a Christmas Carol released November 4, 2008. A sophisticated, Victorian-era literary adaptation that introduced a morally complex, unsympathetic female protagonist undergoing a chronological psychological reformation. Barbie Presents, Thumbelin released March 17, 2009. A microscale, environmentally conscious narrative that explicitly targeted modern urban development and the preservation of indigenous botanical habitats. Barbie and the Three Musketeers released September 15, 2009. A high-octane, swashbuckling deconstruction of Alexandre Dumas's classic French literature, reimagining historical palace security through a lens of clandestine female physical excellence. Barbie and a Mermaid Tale released March 2, 2010. A contemporary fusion of Malibu surf culture and royal marine genealogy, detailing a multi-generational coup d'etat against a tyrannical underwater dictatorship. Barbie, a fashion fairy tale released September 14, 2010. An examination of the global haute couture industry situated within Paris, exploring technological modernization, economic insolvency, and the supernatural revitalization of the fashion arts. Barbie, a fairy secret released March 15, 2011. A fast-paced, urban fantasy thriller dealing with a high-profile metropolitan abduction, forcing rival fashion icons to put aside mutual animosity to navigate an extra-dimensional fairy aristocracy. Barbie, Princess Charm School released September 13, 2011, an immensely popular academic melodrama that masterfully integrated themes of meritocracy, hereditary monarchy restitution, and the rigorous pedagogical conditioning of royal deportment. Barbie, A Perfect Christmas released November 8, 2011. A localized, domestically focused holiday musical that explored travel logistical complications, unexpected meteorological isolation, and family coordination. Barbie and a Mermaid Tale 2 released February 27, 2012, an athletic and political sequel that juxtaposed international competitive surfing championships with the maintenance of geothermal oceanic pressure valves. Barbie, The Princess and the Pop Star released September 11, 2012. A contemporary, technologically enhanced pop-infused optimization of the classic identity exchange narrative, featuring magical wardrobe-altering microchips. Barbie and the Pink Shoes released February 26, 2013, a surrealist, multi-midnation journey into the psychological architecture of classic ballets like Giselle and Swanee, where choreographic perfection is mandated for existential survival. Barbie, Mariposa and the Fairy Princess released August 27, 2013. A complex diplomatic narrative emphasizing international relations, geopolitical isolationism, and the dissolution of historic, deep-seated cultural prejudices between distinct fairy factions. Barbie and Her Sisters in a Ponytail released October 22, 2013, an equestrian-centric European adventure highlighting zoological conservation, competitive horsemanship, and the discovery of an ancient, undocumented equine lineage. Barbie, The Pearl Princess released February 15, 2014. An underwater political narrative centered on a protagonist possessing advanced, aesthetically transformative macro manipulation over marine gems, utilizing her unique skills to unmask a treasonous royal advisor. Barbie and the Secret Door released August 7, 2014, colorful, operatic fantasy detailing an introverted royal who discovers a hidden world depleted of its magical resources by a petulant, authoritarian youth. Barbie and Princess Power released February 26, 2015. The franchise's inaugural venture into the contemporary superhero genre, exploring radioactive ecological anomalies, costumed crime prevention, and the media-driven rivalry of vigilantes. Barbie and Rock and Royals released August 13, 2015, a camp-centric demographic clash where administrative logistical errors result in classical aristocratic youths and countercultural rock musicians swapping summer educational facilities. Barbie and Her Sisters in the Great Puppy Adventure released October 8, 2015. A localized, treasure-hunting mystery that forced sibling collaboration to solve an ancestral municipal puzzle to prevent corporate foreclosure. Barbie, Spy Squad released January 15, 2016, a sleek, high-tech espionage thriller that recontextualized elite gymnastics into global intelligence operations, utilizing advanced gadgetry to neutralize a cybernetic cat burglar. Barbie, Starlight Adventure released August 29, 2016. An expansive space opera that escalated the franchise to cosmic proportions, tasking a hoverboard-riding protagonist with resolving an astrophysical crisis involving the premature gravitational collapse of localized stars. Barbie and Her Sisters in a Puppy Chase released October 18, 2016, a geographical expedition set within a tropical paradise, focusing on localized wildlife, architectural tracking, and sibling accountability. Barbie, Video Game Hero released January 31, 2017. A techno-centric narrative wherein the protagonist undergoes digital molecular conversion to enter a retro virtual reality landscape, maximizing coding logic to defeat an invasive software virus. Barbie, Dolphin Magic released September 18, 2017, a marine biology mystery that transitioned the franchise into a modern, streamlined aesthetic, focusing on the preservation of bioluminescent and oceanic fauna and corporate eco-exploitation. Barbie, Princess Adventure released September 1, 2020. A postmodern, social media-driven musical adaptation of The Prince and the Pauper framework, exploring digital content creation, diplomatic security, and geopolitical authenticity. Barbie and Chelsea, The Lost Birthday released April 16, 2021. A whimsical, youth-centric cruise ship odyssey navigating temporal anxieties as a younger sibling attempts to reclaim a lost calendar date via a fantastical jungle expedition. Barbie, Big City, Big Dreams released September 1, 2021. A monumental narrative salady that synchronized the destinies of two distinct protagonists sharing the same moniker within a high-stakes New York performance arts academy, redefining the franchise's meritocratic lore. Barbie, Mermaid Power released September 1, 2022. A magnificent aquatic continuation where multiple protagonists undergo physiological adaptations to participate in elemental trials to determine the ultimate protector of the oceanic deep. Barbie, Epic Road Trip released October 25, 2022, an innovative, technologically experimental interactive viewing experience that granted audiences the algorithmic autonomy to dictate narrative pathways and career-defining decisions. Barbie, Skipper and the Big Babysitting Adventure released March 16, 2023. A localized domestic comedy detailing the optimization of a small-scale childcare enterprise confronted with competitive corporate operations and severe reputational management. Barbie the movie released July 21, 2023. The historic, live-action postmodern masterpiece, directed by Greta Gerwig. This multi-billion-dollar global phenomenon brilliantly integrated existential philosophy, feminist sociopolitist discourse, and meta-contextual brand deconstruction, forever altering global cinematic history. Barbie and Stacy to the Rescue released March 14, 2024. A high-energy, mid-scale sibling adventure prioritizing precision hot air balloon aeronautics and the sociological dynamics of being the athletic middle child. Barbie and Teresa, Recipe for Friendship released March 6, 2025. A culturally resonant, culinary-focused streaming milestone, this narrative navigated the high-stakes gastronomic landscape of a New York City restaurant lounge, exploring maternal Mexican heritage through the precision execution of an ancestral tamale culinary formulation.